Hello, everyone. Happy day before Thanksgiving. Since it is turkey time and we're careening into the holiday season very, very quickly, come to think of it, I've been seeing like Christmas decorations since Halloween. But nevertheless, um, holiday times are just beginning. And one of the major celebrations that is beginning it is Thanksgiving. Then we roll into Christmas, New Year's, or any other holiday that you may be celebrating. I believe all holidays matter. Um, but going forward with that, there's food everywhere. And for those of us on weight loss journeys who've completed one, you guys may have had some tips and tricks and already put some stuff in place to keep yourself in check, set your own boundaries, and do that sort of thing. Um, I've had a couple different ways I've tried to deal with getting through the holidays on a diet before and trying to, change my habits. You hear all sorts of different stuff. Eat a little something early in the day, fill half your plate with vegetables. Uh, Fucking what? It's Thanksgiving. Um, Stick to lean meats and green beans but I like the green bean casserole myself, smothered in creamy sauce and fried onions. So, what's the strategy? What am I going to do? Um, in the interest of not ruining the holiday, I don't plan to show up with my meal prep and eat out of Tupperware. I I've already been something of like a black sheep. I don't need to drag it out still, even if I'm on a healthy route. So, made a little bit of a plan for the day. I'm very fortunate that it's not a super emotional um, visit with my family. My family, through all my ups and downs, if you've scanned some of the titles of other videos or seen a few, has been very supportive, even though I've had bouts of potentially embarrassing for them um, illness and challenges throughout the course of my life. And they've never made me feel judged or guilty or like a burden um, or embarrassed. So I really appreciate that from them. Still, at the holidays, I put it onto myself that I feel kind of like an outsider, which leads to one of the first challenges I'm going to have. I do a lot of the food prep at Thanksgiving. My father does the turkey and the stuffing, and I do a lot of the sides. My mother, who is a lovely woman um, and took very good care of us and still does into her 60s, was not gifted in the kitchen. So we kind of take over everything for that. She'll put out a relish plate, and she puts out a damn good one. But that's pretty much it. So, being in the kitchen, I pick at everything. Got to taste this, got to make sure it's right, needs a little more butter. And I'm not cooking healthy, low fat foods for my family. Not that I don't want them to live longer, but they're not on a weight loss journey. It's not the time or place for me to start, I think, lecturing them. If I want to bring one healthy dish that I've prepared that makes me feel comfortable eating it, and that I can offer to them to show them kind of what I'm doing, that's fine. And actually, that's something I'll probably do. But when I'm preparing food for them, I'm not skimping. I'm not going to try to serve my 5-year old nephew, something that was smothered in coconut oil and roasted. Like, he's a kid. So that's the first challenge, getting through the kitchen without nibbling at everything. There's a couple different tips and tricks I've heard people do, like they'll chew gum while they're cooking, um, or just to keep themselves occupied. What do they call them? BLTs, bite, lick, and taste. You're supposed to watch. I'm thinking what I'm going to do for Thanksgiving. I have a couple kind of cheat days that I do because I'm doing 1,500 calories as a diet. So I do 1,500 calories and I don't watch the quality of the food, which means that's one kind of cheat day. The other cheat day, I move it up to 2,000 and I eat 2,000 calories that day. And that day, I usually watch the quality a little more closely. What I think I'll do is probably just X out a block of calories with a big X out of the 2,000. I'll count 1,500 of them, and then the rest, if I take a bite of this, a lick of that, we'll just put it on the scoreboard. I'll be mindful. I'll try to calorie count in my head. I'm not going to sit there and look at the table with my phone and go on, Calorie King or anything like that. It's a holiday. I want to enjoy myself, and I want the food not to be an issue. The goal of me getting on a weight loss journey and taking care of myself and also not slipping back into eating disorder behaviors was to have food not be the big deal. It's a holiday. I haven't seen most of my family since Christmas. So I want that to be the focus. So I want to loosen the reins a little, but not go over the deep end. So I'm going to guesstimate in my head calories in this, calories in that. Between apps and years of eating disorders, I can count the calories in just about anything. That's really nothing to brag about. It's a lot of wasted time. But nevertheless, the information's there, so I can do that. Anything I'm not sure about, I'll just slice it in half. But I don't think I'm going to deprive myself. I'm not going to try to make a spectacle of myself. My family will probably notice that I've lost some weight. Um, but they sometimes mention it, sometimes don't, because I've had such big weight fluctuations and a not so secret problem with food. I think they may be cautious about commenting on it at all because they might not be sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So, again, very considerate, very nice people. The house is going to have 15 people in it, and my family home growing up, which is where Thanksgiving is going to be, um, it's hard to accommodate 15 people at the dining room table. We may have a kids table this year, which mean kid foods too. So it turns into having, all of our usual stuff. Everyone's family has their own things. And then probably some things for little kids, like we need mac and cheese, and we need this, and we need that, and this one doesn't like this, and this, so to be even more stuff hanging around. Um, so it's kind of, I think, what my strategy is going to be. I'm going to put it at my upper calorie limit. I'm probably not going to eat early in the day, um, like I do now. Still the intermittent fast, and that's easy if it's one big meal to kind of put it all together. I am going to take some leftovers home. Now, for the leftovers, I think what I'll probably do is take home the stuff that a lot of people recommend you eat for the Thanksgiving dinner. So if I do take leftovers home, it'll be white meat turkey, any of the like leafy green vegetable sides. If there's any kind of potatoes or sweet potatoes that aren't dressed with any sort of um, fat or anything on it. I'm not fat phobic, but I'd like to measure out how much I'm going to put on it. I usually, add it in measurable increments so I can keep track. And any other things that are left over like that. And I still eat my junk every night, my sweets. So if I sneak a piece of pie or two and I can still work those in, they're like probably a few hundred calories, maybe 4 for a decent chunk of pie. I can keep those for a couple days too. So I don't have to deprive myself and I don't have to go, oh, it's midnight, I'm going to turn into a fat pumpkin if I keep eating on Thanksgiving because it'll roll into Christmas and it'll roll into New Year's and da 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 da. Okay, I could make it that serious and piss off everyone I know, or I could just relax, enjoy the day, trust that the work I've put in on the journey so far has built some good behaviors that are hopefully becoming intuitive. That I can look at food and know what good and bad is, that I can understand and acknowledge when I'm making choices that are an exception to my normal routine. So I'm going to try to trust my judgment and see where it goes from there. Weigh-in Wednesday is tomorrow, and then we'll see the following Wednesday. Was I up? Was I down? Does it really matter too much if there's a holiday in there? Some people hold themselves extremely accountable. They don't stray. It's very important to them. It means a lot to them that they don't go off their diet. It proves something to them. It means they take their health very seriously and they measure it by that. And I can appreciate that because that's a lot of determination. It's not how I roll, but I can get, I can get where they stick with that. I'm doing it a little bit differently. And again, I'll get on the scale next week and then we'll see where the results go. So, for anybody in the US who is celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving early. And for anyone else who's not, thanks for watching. How's that for gratitude? Please like, subscribe, follow. This has been going pretty well for me so far. I'm looking optimistically tomorrow at Weigh-In Wednesday. We shall see. Don't want to get my hopes up too high. It could be another milestone type thing, but we'll find out as we go. And thanks for tuning in, and I will check with y'all soon. Bye.